of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers. The final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss. There wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anawa'i Fatu Maivia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His
Chief Peter Maivia taking on George the Animal Steel in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the Animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain them.
The Animal has to be elated to be in this steel cage against one of his biggest rivals, no less.
Yeah, Byron, we've seen the Animal brandish a weapon against Peter Maivia before when it was against the rules. The High Chief better be prepared for Steel to get even crazier.
Oh, Maivia is prepared, all right. The man is extremely tough and agile. In fact, the High Chief's entire body can be considered a weapon. Oh! Has him in the corner, thinking of the next move.
The High Chief just refusing to be intimidated.
The Animal has no idea what to make of Maivia. Nice side headlock applied.
Oh, good measure. Momentum is all with Maivia now.
Yeah, and Maivia has really figured the Animal out here.
So much torque on the knee and ankle.
Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anawa'i family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan.
When you add on the fact that Maivia was born and raised in Samoa, you can see the great pride he has for that land and its people in the tribal ink that covers his body.
Heel hook. Look at this. Oh, that's so painful.
It's hard to watch, too.
He's really mounting pressure at will now.
And you can see Steel is struggling to weather the storm with the High Chief.
Look at Maivia going to work on the Animal.
The High Chief has all the answers right now.
George Animal Steel is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
And he might be the best brawler in WWE, Michael. There is no shortage of fight in the Animal.
But you know who might be a better brawler, guys? The High Chief, Peter Maivia. When you consider that Maivia is also an excellent high flyer and a great technician, well, you can see why the High Chief is the favorite in this match, even with the steel cage stipulation.
We've seen that Steel isn't above using a foreign object to gain the edge against Maivia, so he's got to have the advantage in a match where they're surrounded by one huge weapon, right?
Well, you'd think that, Cole, but think about how these men prepared for this match. The High Chief is a consummate professional who's game planned for this stipulation. And Steel, well, I think he just shows up to the arena and asks who he's fighting.
Boom, running STO plants him. Nicely done.
The High Chief, Peter Maivia, really making a name for himself in WWE, but he's had plenty of experience on the way up.
Plenty of championships on the West Coast, but he's made the biggest splash in Hawaii, where he earned multiple tag team titles.
Oh yeah, Maivia is a huge celebrity on the islands. In fact, I've heard some consider him the personification of Maui.
Maivia overwhelming his opponent here.
Steel now just trying to survive.
Another targeted attack to his head and neck area. He has to be careful.
He dodges out of danger. He's getting back up, straight into harm's way.
George the Animal Steel might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost a match by countout to the High Chief.
In Steel's defense, I'm not sure he knows how to count exactly, or how to read a rule book. So he's got to be happy to be in this cage.
Maivia is called the High Chief in part because of his commanding presence in the ring. He's more than ready. George is tied up here.
Backbreaker flawlessly executed. Does Peter Maivia have this sewn up?
Sent into the corner.
Clothesline in the corner.
Peter Maivia now with the upper hand.
And I don't see Peter Maivia slowing down anytime soon.
Set up for a second time.
Oh, what a backbreaker.
Man, just ugly impact.
No way Steel's coming back from that.
And the High Chief defeats the Animal.
Here is your winner, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered a decisive victory for the High Chief, Peter Maivia.
George Steele is one tough animal, but the way Maivia faced him in the cage tonight just reinforced what everyone already knew, that the High Chief is one tough Samoan.